Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host. We find it delightfully unlivable here in this ghostly retreat. Every room has wall-to-wall creeps and hot and cold running chills. Shh. Listen. The only thing I enjoy more than mortal screams is the excruciating sound of freshly squeaked doors, don't you? Now let's pause for a moment and talk about one of the mansion's most elusive ghosts. Someone who requires no introduction. I'm speaking, of course, of the squeaky door ghosts. Don't tell me you were expecting someone else. Perhaps you've never encountered the squeaky door ghost. In truth, no mortal has. In fact, the only illustration of the squeaky door ghost comes from Disney Imagineer Mark Davis, or as he's known around the mansion as our dear departed Grandpa Mark. Davis is credited as being the one responsible for much of the humor throughout the attraction, and often confronted other Imagineers who wanted to keep the mansion as terrifying as possible. His influence is perhaps most apparent towards the end of the ride when you encounter all of those delightful haunts roaming the cemetery and those infamous hitchhiking ghosts in the crypt. Judging from Mark Davis's illustrations, it's safe to assume that the squeaky door ghost is the phantom responsible for the upkeep of all those hinges that creep throughout the mansion. It's a very important job, as I'm sure you imagine. She wanders around in her French-maid outfit, adding the frightening noise for our residents to enjoy. It's likely she was meant to inhabit the corridor of doors, a frightening place where many of our ghosts anxiously await to greet our guests. Doorknobs' handles twist every which way, knockers bang against the doors. One door even breathes like something out of The Haunting. This is perhaps one of the most frightening scenes throughout the mansion. So the inclusion of a sight gag in the corridor of doors, even one as endearing as the squeaky door ghost, might have taken away the eerie mood of this particular scene. And so, the elusive squeaky door ghost remains hidden from mortals to this very day, but her influence can still be felt throughout the mansion. So next time you find yourself wandering those halls, listen for the sound of hinges creaking in doorless chambers, and imagine an introverted ghost working diligently to provide those sounds. Now, let us know what you think. What do you think about the squeaky door ghosts? And would you like to see her materialize in the Haunted Mansion at some point in the future? Tell us your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to take a moment and watch one of these other films highlighting the residents of the Haunted Mansion.